What will I do with Gala moving forward? Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but I'm going to still do what I've been doing throughout this entire time anyways. And even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, I am personally dollar cost averaging once a month. I'm not doing it any more frequently or less frequently. Again, it's just once a month. But again, I don't necessarily have to do it. I'm just doing it voluntarily because I'm just a little bit curious to see what happens to Gala if, let's say, maybe there's an altcoin season. Sure, it's around 39 times lower than 25 cents currently. So the pullback has been pretty extensive, but also my kind of viewpoint is that, yeah, okay, I get it. Things are having a pullback. But I also take a look at it through a different lens, I would suppose, right? Because if I take a look at Gala as of right now, market cap is around almost 300 million, basically. But the thing is, when I take a look at Gala back in December of 2024, so we're not even talking about like 2 years ago. No, it was literally just like a year ago, basically. Like the market cap was almost 2.2 billion. So if we take a look at it from Gala currently, Gala is around 7 times lower in terms of market cap when compared to where it was back in December of 2024, which may sound like such a not good thing, I suppose, but kind of my mindset is this. Is Bitcoin around 7 times lower than where it was back in December in terms of market cap? I don't think so. And of course, I'm talking about December 2024. But besides that, if I take a look at that time frame as well, is Ethereum currently around 7 times lower than where it was back in December 2024? I also don't think so. So the thing is, when I take a look at something like Gala, that's just the way to take a look at it. I mean, if I take a look at Bitcoin, it's like around 3 times lower than 300 grand, right? But it's never reached 300 grand ever in history. Has Gala reached around a 2 billion market cap? I mean, yeah, I just saw it like around a year ago. And currently, we're around 7 times lower than that. But that's just my perspective. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But yeah, besides that point, when I take a look at Gala as a project, kind of my perspective is that it's not necessarily, I think, reinventing the wheel by any means, because, for instance, being focused on music, being focused on film, being focused on games, I don't think it's anything necessarily new. But when I take a look at the ecosystem overall and I take a look at the Gala chain, I think it brings something a little bit more unique than compared to some of its competitors, which aren't really doing kind of other aspects, right? They're just only focused on one thing and one thing only, but they don't really kind of, expand their horizons in that sense. But when I take a look at Gala, I do like their kind of focus overall because, sure, people may be thinking, okay, when it comes to film, when it comes to music, they think that it's not really going to be the major driving force behind Gala moving forward. But I feel like it's sometimes the thought that counts in my perspective. And when I take a look at their emphasis when it comes to being focused on games, like my perspective when it comes to that is within this space, right? I'm not talking about games that are out of this, space. I'm not talking about like Batman or Spider-Man. I'm not talking about that. I'm just specifically talking about this space. There has never been that sort of wow moment for me yet because I see that with games like Spider-Man, like Batman, but they're not games like within this space, right? But then with that being said, people may be telling me, okay, if games within the space as of right now just haven't been that kind of intriguing. Why would I care about it? Like in terms of the quality and stuff like that? Well, it's because for me, I kind of hypothetically want to be a part of that journey. So if let's say there is, this kind of emergence of high quality games and stuff like that within this space, I kind of want to be a part of that. I don't want to wait for, let's say, after that moment has already sort of hypothetically occurred, maybe. But that's just kind of my perception when it comes to that. And also, when I take a look at Gala overall, people like to tell me, well, why would I even care about it? Now, I cannot tell anyone to do anything, but personally, for me, I have been, dollar cost averaging once a month when it comes to Gala ever since 2021. So it's been like a very long time at this point. I mean, we're almost in 2026. So yeah. But besides all that, though, I'm just staying patient, right? I don't have to do it. Like, I don't necessarily have to wait for any project. I could just not care. But just kind of my perception is that if, let's say, I wasn't holding within this space, let's say I just kind of exited everything, which I could do, but I'm just saying I haven't done that. But besides that point, like in a make believe scenario, if I did do that, Like, whether I did that or not, I'm still gonna have to make it through the months in 2026. Like, for instance, I'm still gonna have to live my life, right? In January, February, March, April, and so on. I'm still gonna have to do that. So would I rather be living my life and then still just kind of waiting for something or not? I'd rather be waiting for something in my perspective because either way, I'm waiting, right? Either way, I'm gonna have to make it through those, moments. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I would just have this mindset where I'm thinking like, okay, I'd rather be waiting in an event where maybe it does something rather than me not waiting at all and I'm just living my life. If let's say there is something that happens, then hypothetically, what, I'm not a part of it. So I don't want to have that sort of kind of feeling, I suppose. I kind of hypothetically just want to be holding in case there is a hypothetical thing that happens. It doesn't mean there will be. I mean, like, I cannot control this in any way. Like, for instance, if I take a look at Gala, right, it has over 200,000 holders. Like, me being one out of the over 200 grand, like, it's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? But personally, for me, I'm just waiting regardless. Like, even if I take a look at it further, if I zoom out further, there's over 600 million owners within this space right now. Me just as a individual, right? That's like not even going to affect anything. Whether I'm in this space or I exit, like this space does not care. I'm just one person out of all of this. So yeah, I don't have to wait, but I'm just voluntarily choosing to wait. That's it. But that's just my plans moving forward when it comes to Gala. We'll see what happens in 2026. I don't think there's going to be an altcoin season this year because, I mean, we're almost in 2026. But I think, if anything, I'm just looking into 2026 and seeing maybe what could happen. Who knows, though? But I'm just still staying patient nonetheless. When it comes to Gala, I mean, when I take a look at it, the project's been around for quite a while. And a lot of people like to say, well, it hasn't really done much during this cycle. Well, I don't think I've seen an altcoin season. So, like, how can I fully kind of evaluate it, I suppose? It's like, for instance, if I'm watching a movie, I'd have to watch it throughout its entirety, right? For me to fully evaluate it. I don't have to do that, but I'm saying in an event where I want to do that, in an event where I want to give a review, I'd have to watch it completely. That's my perspective. So I can have this understanding of what I liked and, what I thought about it, I guess, right? So yeah, that's just kind of my mindset when it comes to this. And it's been quite a long movie, I would say, right? If this cycle became like a movie or something like that, it would be like a 4 hour movie or something, I guess, because it just feels like it's so long. But you know what? I'm just waiting. I don't have to, but I'm just waiting anyways. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it. However, those are my plans moving forward when it comes to Gala. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a very nice day. And it's been Lee the Captain. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.